when I was doing a bunch of research into you and I was drafting up the questions, I kept on conflating like strategies to get what you want with some sort of manipulation.
Right.
Like, how do you differentiate between the two? Because if you're employing strategies, that's just not talking clearly and concisely, you know, without all of the added context and fluff. If you're adding strategies, that's like, I guess, embellishing something in order to get what you want. How do you differentiate between the two?
Yeah, well, so what's your intention to begin with? Manipulation is when you're trying to get something at the expense of the other person. When they find out about it, they'd never do it again. Influence was somebody that you like my approach with people is at a bare minimum, if I leave you in a better mood than when I walked up, I'm happy because I made a deposit in the karma bank. I have increased the chances I'm going to get something, but I'm a very strong believer in karma. So it's selfish of me to try to make the world a better place. It's ultimately going to come back around to me. It's selfish of me to try to leave you in a better mood than when I walked up. Like, I don't know how it's going to come back to me positively, but it is. So to start with, that's my goal. My goal is to leave you better than I found you. You're going to sense that right away. And in my approach, a lot of people can be really charming until they don't get what they want. And then they turn into vindictive jerks. Like when I was a cop, I get somebody locked up. If on the way to the police station, you know, they're hitting me with tons of flattery. I know they figure for some reason that between now and a police station, I'm going to stop the car, I'm going to open the door, I'm going to take the cuffs off them and turn them loose, which is not going to happen. And so they're saying all these nice things to me on the way to the police station, being really complimentary. And as soon as I get in the station, they're saying the nastiest, meanest, vindictive, hateful things. Because they used flattery, they didn't get what they want, but what they really wanted was something at my expense.
So how do you know if someone is being honest or truthful when, you know, you're negotiating with them? I feel like if someone's flattering, a lot of people would just kind of
flattery is a weapon.
And even like the way that you say, tough day, like when I hear that, I'm like, man, like, you know, I wasn't, but now I feel like I was having a tough day.
No, you weren't.
Like it feels-
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Let's stop right there. First of all, no, you were not. Because this is a pretend situation. And you're not rolling in having a tough day. So what you're trying to do is you're defeating it in your brain. Your amygdala's kicked into gear. Here's what I challenge you to do. Whoever you run across on the outside today, you're going to get a read on what's going through their mind when you walk up. All you got to do is pay attention to the person. All the data you need is that the day that they're having is going to be right there in front of your face. Now, if they look indifferent, say, looks like an average day. If they look happy, say, looks like you're having a good day. If they look stressed, say, go with tough day, see what happens.
Have you always been so good at negotiation? Like
Nobody's always good at it. Nobody's always good at anything. Negotiation is two things. It's a learned skill and it's a perishable skill. Jim Camp a long time ago referred to negotiation as a human performance event. Now, he would put it in that category because at one point in time, he was a football coach. But in point of fact, that's true. So emotional intelligence is unlimited and perishable. Great negotiation is just emotional intelligence, reading the person, seeing what the possibilities are in the moment, and then really where it goes has to do with what your intention are. Long-term trusted relationship, or am I trying to exploit you? Now, I can get away with exploiting you once, but you're not going to repeat with me again. And I realize that there's no such thing as a one-off. I'm a big believer in karma in general. And I figure I'm going to see you again. Like one of my students at Georgetown went into Home Depot. In my book, Never Split the Difference, there's a chapter on bargaining towards the end. And it's called the Ackerman Bargaining Method, and it's ridiculously effective. So he goes into Home Depot, and like he just kills them on a price. Just gets one of the best prices on the cabinets that you could possibly imagine from Home Depot. It's got to come back a couple of weeks later because there's a problem. You think they want to help him? This is a guy that cut their throat before. They're charging him for every dime and still dragging their feet. So there really aren't one-off negotiations. And so I treat everybody like I got to live with my intentions, and I want them to continue to do business with me for 20 years.
So that strategy that you taught that he employed, what were like the actual steps in him to achieve the cheapest cabinets, even if it just be once?
I don't bargain. I negotiate. And I negotiate with long-term prosperity in mind. So I can beat you on the price. And I have in the past. And one way or another, it's always come back to haunt me. Now, every now and then, you're going to have somebody on the other side of the table you got to get into bare knuckles bargaining with. But that shouldn't be your default move. It should be your last move. What's wrong with that? Because if I put you on a price and I need you for anything else, you're going to pay me back with interest. At least 2x, if not more, over what I saved on the initial price. So bargaining like crazy is a great way to defeat yourself long term. And if you and I get into a negotiation, I'm going to want you to give me your real price. Most people make this mistake of asking for more than what they want. There's a lot of advice out there, anchor high. Ask for more than what you want, be willing to settle for less. But number one, I've done this long enough that if you ask for more than what you really want, you've lied to me. That was a lie. And then it becomes very easy to excuse yourself for lying all the time, one way or the other. And then people eventually find out. And then people know that, look, I can't trust him. He's not going to tell me what he really wants, what's really going to make him happy. He's going to exaggerate. He's going to distort everything he says to me. And at some point in time, I'm just going to stop talking to you, period. If I can't count on you to tell me the truth. And so asking for more than what you really want, by definition, is a lie to begin with.